Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and your team and all of our military folks here for all you're doing to support our war fighters. We wouldn't have a country without our brave men and women, and right now as a country, we need to be united in supporting them in their efforts and what they need to get the job done. I'm familiar with the recent investments the Department has made in solid rocket motors. However, what are your plans to expand capacity and resilience through both funding and diversification and new entrants to the market?
Well, we're thankful that we have several performers that have emerged that are privately funded that are interested in getting into the solid rocket motor space, and so we're partnering with them to pursue. At current state, many of them are not yet qualified or certified, which, you know, with the volatility of that component of the weapon system, we need to make sure that we've got all of the quality assurance done to bring that component into the supply chain, and we are pursuing opportunities with multiple vendors to make sure we can help them get across that finish line.
Mr. Secretary, ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene is foundational to the production of hard and soft armor across the joint force. We understand it is not a munition or a critical mineral, but it is certainly a strategic material as it offers protection to every service member in harm's way, both domestically and internationally. With only 2 domestic manufacturers, how is the Department addressing the vulnerability of this single point of failure in the supply chains for ballistic protection?
Sir, if I could, I'd like to consult my team and get back to you with the specifics on that. You know, we do have a robust team of analysts who understand this at depth, and I'm sure that I can come back to you with that answer.
Yes, sir. All right, Secretary Duffy, I was excited to see in your testimony that you highlighted the Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing, ATDM, in Danville, Virginia. That's in my district. You also mentioned the Department's enthusiasm in the Civil Reserve Manufacturing Network, CRMN. As the Department works to bring the CRMN online, has the Department considered in which the program could be complemented with regional training centers such as ATM to ensure the availability of a skilled and ready workforce?
I'm sorry, sir, can I ask you to repeat the last part of your question there?
Sure. So as the Department works to bring the CRMN online, has the Department considered which program could be complemented with regional training centers such as ATM to ensure the availability of skilled and ready workforce?
Sir, if I could, I'd like to come back to you on that one as well.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and follow up, given the success of programs like ATDM, how does the Department and specifically IBAS plan to transition them from annual pilot-style ads into a stable, accountable program with standard funding under the Department of the Navy?
Well, I think that relies on our ability to create the partnership with the service and the industry to understand how to pass it off. That's certainly our goal, right? The IBAS program is intended to make investments that we can transition to the services, especially around workforce development. And so where we have specific plans on that, I'll also follow up with you.
That sounds great. You know, I heard you talk about the work and family tax cut, the One Big Beautiful Bill, and how it helped you. And of course, we had close to a $900 billion NDAA we just passed. We're working on 27 now. What are some things that we can do as a committee to help support your efforts?
Well, I appreciate the question and the leadership on driving the industrial base. As I mentioned, I think we're really in the heart of sorting through and implementing the great authorizations you've already provided. But while we're doing that, we're keeping tabs on where could we use additional help. And I think at some point in the near future, we'd be able to bring that back to you to talk through if we can get additional resources. There's flexibility.
There's a advanced, I guess you would call it additive manufacturing company in Los Angeles called Divergent. How are companies like that going to be game changers for what you're doing?
I've had the pleasure of visiting Divergent with the Secretary of War recently, and it is amazing what kind of technology they've been able to produce to create opportunities for additive manufacturing. I think one of the things that we're working very hard to accomplish in order to enable companies like Divergent is changing the culture within the department to be opening to accepting these new technologies? Is additive manufacturing trusted within the engineering workforce within the government? And how can we build that confidence that a new emerging technology like this that offers tremendous benefit in terms of schedule gain and efficiency also fulfills the mission and the quality assurance that we need in order to provide secure, capable weapons to our warfighter? And so we've got a team that's working that very hard right now.
Thank you.
Gentlemen,